What's good, YouTube? We are back on Crank Central looking at another battle. This time, the Independence Showdown that happened in Mississippi this past weekend. Shout out to all the love on the previous video. Basically, the first real edited actual video. All the shares on Facebook, all the posts and shares. And my fry brothers, I really appreciate y'all for all the support, and we're gonna keep this going into this week's battle review between the Mississippi Alumni All-Star Band and Memphis MAAB Band. This is a classic showdown that's been happening semi-consistently, aside from the years that MAAB just doesn't exist for one reason or another. Pretty serious and extensive battle that's been taking place, I believe, consistently since 2012. So this is a storied battle with some two heavyweights, and we get to see the return of the MAAB. Here we go. All right, so y'all know from last week, Memphis is coming into here with a record of 0-1 or 0-1. It depends on your personal preference. I personally preferred New Orleans, although my scores came out to be a tie. So for all intents and purposes, Memphis is still, of course, in the tops of Summer Band, and MAAB is the one walking into here with something to prove. Once again, I am not trying to give the perspective of someone who is just now watching this. I have watched this a few times. I am recording this Monday night. It is basically midnight. I've seen this. I've seen other people's opinion on it. I've seen Deontay Kennedy's opinion on this, and I am coming into here with all of those things. Of course, if there's something that I heard from those people, I will quote them and give them their just due credit. But let's get into this. Shout out to A1 Media for the footage, and I appreciate anyone watching and everyone supporting.
Let's get it.
All right. Round one. Okay. Some good power. This is like old nigga for sure. I think dude on the podium also went to Dega. Shout out to him. Mellow player. UFO's punishing, Mellows creasing, Trumpets is getting in there. Potentially need a little bit more from them, but what they doing is alright right now. Sting it. Good synchronized attack, good release. Nothing crazy, man. Nothing crazy. Loud, powerful at the start. Good tone setter. Did trombone numbers shrink, or are they both on benches? I wonder. Handoff. Up tempo. These are some big bands to keep in time, man. I'm not gonna lie. If there's ever been a time where summer bands needed drum majors just to keep tempo, it's now. I'm not gonna lie. It is now. I know they got staff all over the place to do that, but this is hard, bruh. This is hard. I haven't done a rip in summer band, I will admit. I've done my rips, I've gotten my SWAC hours, but in terms of being in these fields, in terms of being here in the summer, in this summer heat with 280 deep, 250 deep, nah, this is something different. This is a different animal. Relatively strong from the trombones. I like this handoff to the walk down. Tubas kept it in time this time. Pretty solid song from Memphis for the start. I'm not gonna pause as much as I did last time or talk over the music as much as I did last time. Beginner's worries, I know, I apologize. I think that song was solid. Memphis's tubas the first time around kind of messed up the tempo a little bit. And funny enough, they've been the real X factor for them this summer so far. They've really been hit or miss, either messing up the tempo, messing up bringbacks, or just whatever the case may be. But that one, they recovered solidly. Pretty solid round from them. I have to give that a strong 2.5. Honestly, good, loud, powerful, balanced, except for actually going down to 2. Because trumpets, and then you did have a tempo mess up from the tubas. Let's see what MAAB come back with. First notes in years, man. Okay, good run. Trumpets. Classic MAAB. Classic MAAB. All right, tubas. I wanna think that they kept that in time. It's just that their turn, so I'm hearing the delay. I don't know. It sounds relatively in time still though. Good power, man, and great energy, man. It's great to see MAAB back, bro. For all intents and purposes, we really haven't seen MAAB since like 21. When they got their ass handed to them? Oh my god. Tuba's doing these splits part justice, not gonna lie. Let's see what this UFO squad over here gotta say. Okay. Took UFOs a little bit of a gliss, little bit of a slip on to hit that, to get to the top of that note, but hey man, nobody's perfect. Everybody gets one. And that was the major thing that I heard. I do got a question for y'all after this song. I got some pre-loaded questions. There we go. I will also give that a 2. Now, does that sound like Euphoria? Fuck no. That's what this is supposed to be. Enough with the yapping though. Let's get into the second round with Memphis. I heard that tuba. This is also awkward because I think A1 wasn't at his camera to move it right now. Mike is still in the right spot though, so. Good percussion break. Good job finishing that phrase, UFOs. I love the passage of the melody throughout the band, how it gets handed off. That is what a clean run from the trumpets as well. Between the trumpets, skying into, their range, getting to the top of those notes, handing off the melody. It's amazing. There we go. There we go. I just realized I didn't give that first round scores at all. I will give Hit Me Baby a 3. And if I didn't already say it, I'll give the first two rounds for both. The first round for both bands a 2. All right, MAAB. Good snare. Good snare keeping that. Good on trumpets and mellows keeping that in time. Clear melody to follow, block chords. You see, like right there, a lot of people might ask for more intonation, but I don't know. Come on, mellows, keep up. Jesus. Mello's playing that Jackson delay is killing them right now. Trumpets is doing what they can. UFOs is playing pretty solid. They just all in the pocket for real. Trombones is doing what they can, what they supposed to on them block chords. It all sounds all right, basically, except the mellows, who are like damn near purposely tanking. These mellows finna bring out my anti-Jackson bias. Oh my god. Cause I know this comes from that fucking section. Okay, trumpets. And is that a mellow hangover? Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. 1.5. 1.5. Mellows just tank that shit to hell. Like, why? Why, bro? Why do y'all play like that? On that phrase, or whatever the fucking walk down is. Jesus Christ. Y'all had one snare keeping the whole band on beat for like the first 8 measures of the song. Y'all can't play the rest of it on beat. Jesus Christ. 1.5, man. And I was liking that. Where the hell is Drew going? Shout out A1. Shout out A1. Usually he'd be on this shit with the camera. I'm sure he was down there doing something, getting a secondary angle, running around. Y'all know these events be hell. Chords, man. Yeah, there we go. Them tuba chords. Good for Sando. Nice kiss. Just sing trombones, nothing crazy. If everybody else? Okay. I hear trumpets a little bit. Good trombones. Honestly, I think that was cleaner. I think that was cleaner than when they played it at New Orleans. I will give that a 2.5. I will give that a 2.5. It still feels short, man. I'm not gonna lie. It still feels short. Let me know how y'all feel about Memphis, how they end songs on the and a 4 or the a 4 or whatever instead of resolving things on the downbeat. 2.5 though. They fucking doing it again. You can't win. You can't win with Jackson Mellows. I'm sorry. I'm hating now. I lie. They sound okay. They'll walk down. If y'all are gonna slow things down like this, I'm gonna need more than just some call and response. Especially if Mellows is just gonna do this the whole battle. Jesus. Shout out Mr. Rue himself. Mr. Lanier. Drew. I will also give that a 1.5. Again, the beginning, I think the Mellows was tanking that. I think the director feeling that too. Mellows was tanking that a little bit. I needed some more from the trumpets, especially if the handoff is gonna go to them all the time on the call and response. I wasn't liking how you folks were phrasing things. So Memphis running it now. Mind you, half the songs they played on the field so far have been repeats. Okay. Good cutoff. I don't know about that chord. Good job coming out, Mellows. I was iffy on that beginning phrase. Yeah, trombone numbers definitely went down. Good run up from the Mellows. I wish I got more on that. These boys is running stuff this summer, I will say. As impressive as everybody's UFO section has been, I believe if you give them same parts to these UFOs, they still doing it. I'm not gonna lie. if he run tubas. Them resolutions just keep like leaving me wanting more. Like, I just want it to be resolved. I just want the downbeats out. And I guess if like the criticism to the music is I want more, then I guess you did your job. Minor nitpicks on like a few runs or whatever. Other than that, still pretty good. I get that too. Shout out Mr. Hunter, man. Shout out Mr. Hunter. Played the most songs from this man. Tempo. And I know he up there on the stand giving them hard ass downbeats too. Boys, Barrett's down tempo with this one. Pretty solid so far. Haven't heard nothing crazy. Putting the mellows on that walk down counter melody on the trombone break. That's a good passage from the trumpets. Talk y'all shit, y'all eating. Them boys. Ain't he was trombone section leader at Jackson at J State this past year. Old dude next to Mr. Lanier. Good scale up from the mellows. Whatever that phrase was. That is it for the fields. I will also give that a 2. And let me do some brain math to tally up my scores before we head to the stands. One of the questions I was thinking to myself as I was listening to this battle over and over again in preparation for this, because, you know, I don't like giving raw reactions. I want to actually inform you guys on what I'm hearing, how I'm hearing it, and how I'm perceiving it through how I already understand music. And the question I have is, how do y'all grade bands? Like, are we grading these bands based off of what our ideal sounding band is for the summer, for the fall, or just in general, like what we know music or perfect musicianship to be? Or are we judging these bands off of, like, you know, what we know them to be, their preferential style, and what we know they're gonna bring to the table on a song-to-song basis? What I mean by that is, MAAB is MAAB is MAAB is MAAB. They've been MAAB since 2011, and for the most part, their style hasn't changed. MAAB has always pushed out a band that has been consistent at 3 things relatively. They've been powerful, they've also been loud. Those are 2 very different and very distinct things. And low-key, they've been a little bit messy. Now, some years, that bodes well. Some years, I'd say that they got the jump over on New Orleans. 2015, they got the jump over on New Orleans. 2019, of course, I think most people will agree with me that they got the jump on them at Independence. And some years, it doesn't turn out very well, like 2021. And I don't just mean messy or sloppy in terms of like attacks and releases. They playing all over the place and the tone is garbage. No, I mean that sometimes the arrangements themselves can get a little bit messy in terms of some clashing chords, what you're asking out of your mellows, and how far you want them to reach at a point in the song to where it's like, does it really make sense for them to be playing like this super F, super G right here? Like, is that really what we're doing? Same with UFOs, and sometimes between the clashing and everybody playing within a similar register, it can kind of create a sense of noise. Sometimes a wall of noise that is ever continuous and creates an amazing product. Sometimes 2021. So I say that to say, when it comes to grading these battles, I'm at a crossroads whenever we come to a year like this year where the top 4 bands are seemingly executing like at a very high level between Memphis, New Orleans, Mississippi, and GAM, and they all have 4 distinct sounding bands and sounding styles. So do I judge them off of, okay, who's the cleanest? Who has the easiest melody to follow? Whose chords have the most inversions, etc., etc.? Because, like, in all honesty, that's gonna go to the same band every year, and it's gonna be Georgia. Memphis is giving them a run for their money, but like, for the most part, GAM's cleanliness is just like kind of unmatched, especially for their size. And at that point, it just comes down to like complexity of arrangement and then who you prefer. But I think that a more interesting conversation could be how we look at these bands. New Orleans with their high-paced energy, MAAB with potentially the clutteredness of the arrangement, but producing a wall of sound that is just so powerful that like it sounds so aggressive, it's so enjoyable, it's so entertaining, especially in person, that you'll get to watch this Saturday live in New Orleans on the 29th. Memphis with the runs and the musicality that they're, oh, I hate that word actually. Let me go in depth into what I mean. Like I mentioned last battle, it very much seems like Memphis definitely puts a priority in terms of their arrangements on making a blended song that is able to pass off different phrases between sections, very effortlessly finishing things off like in Hit Me Baby. And as shout out Taco King on Facebook pointed out, they also have, I don't know if it's a conceited effort or if it's just the way that some of their arrangers arrange, but they have a trend to where they will end off a lot of songs, especially ballads, without resolving a chord or a chromatic scale of sorts and landing at the root note, but they'll just lead upwards going into like the and of 4 or the of 4. And then like I already mentioned with GAM, they have their own distinct style that you can argue like has more of a orchestral sound or more of an event sound, especially with them playing a lot of soundtrack songs. I say all this to say, and we'll get right back into the video, but I wanted to ask, how do you guys think that we as consumers and watchers of all this should go forward grading these bands based off of what we've come to expect for them and how well they execute that, or based off of just this closest to no mistakes, what we think is probably on the paper and how close they get to executing that in terms of general attacks and releases, general tonality, general hangovers, and what we perceive as general musicianship overall? Let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, so unless I'm an invalid, my score for the first section is 9.5 to 7 Memphis. Now, I will be using a new score sheet for the stands just to, you know, try to avoid any type of preconceived bias. And we will head straight into the stands, straight up Memphis versus MAAB. I will do LLI, Bama, yes, Bama, and North Carolina at a later date. Shout out to my LB Christian arranging over there for LLI, but we will get to that part of the battle soon. Now, we will head to the stands for MAAB versus Memphis. All right, we are here in the stands. Memphis up first. Let's see what you got. Not the strongest downbeat, I'm not gonna lie to you. Not the strongest note on top UFOs either. Some call and response, back and forth. Tuba slowed down a little bit on that last one if you're wondering why I'm groaning. Good one though. Memphis gonna be clean, man. Like I said before, if you stuck around for that portion where I was rambling a little bit, it is second cleanest. Ah. I feel like only 2 tubas stuck that. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like y'all kind of left them out. And I'm not getting as much trumpet as I should be, considering that for a good part of the song they're playing something different than the mellows actually. Aside from that call and response earlier. Oh, this trombone break. I don't like this. Oh my god, and this, yeah, this, I don't like this. I don't like this as a first song at all. I don't like this. Did not feel like y'all was supposed to keep going. Y'all downbeats have been weak. Good last passage from the mellows and UFOs. 1. Too strong of a band to not. Oh my! I can't even speak. I can't even speak. Yeah, Memphis can't get away with having no weak-ass downbeats like this. Because MAAB gonna be aggressive regardless. And Drew arrangements be hit or miss, but when they fit the band, they gonna hit like crack, boy. Yeah, and they came back and did it better. Oh yeah, yeah. And this is what I was talking about earlier with the, like, do we judge bands based off of what you know, what we know them to give us and just how well they execute that? This is loud, this is powerful, this is still relatively balanced. Like, I've heard everybody, and I've heard their parts, like, pretty distinctively. Not the most complicated, though. UFOs. And they gave me exactly what I was looking for, exactly what I needed from MAAB. Bro, that's a 3. I'm sorry. Like, that's perfect. Yes, they might have had, like, little rinky-dink mistakes. Oh, an attack looking crazy. Oh, a release is looking a little bit suspect in there. Great downbeats, distinctive parts, relatively simple rhythms, granted, but really good execution, relatively easy to follow melodies, hard tuba part, and just, you know, alternating parts. Granted, it's getting more common. Last week, we just saw someone mess that shit up, so it's still fuck upable. Brought it back, same energy, same, if not better power. What more can you ask? Round 1 goes all the way to MAAB. All right, trombones. I know y'all in the lower register. Good phrase from the trumpets. Da, 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 da. Y'all know it all comes down to this upper brass passage. Hand off. Good hangover. And then it comes down to this run. Shout out the high schoolers in front, man. I'm going to give that a 2.5. Only because, and again, I'm now putting myself in the mode of judging the band based off of what I know they can give and what I expect, the different qualities and aspects of music that I know they can give me and I expect them to give me based off the personnel and based off the band. Memphis played that song last week to damn near perfection. I think I actually might have given them like a 2.5, but leaning to, depending on probably which footage, you hear certain mistakes, you don't hear certain mistakes, that might have gotten a 3 out of me. I don't even remember. But the only reason why I won't get a 3 is because of, comparison's the thief of joy. Last week, that trombone break was cleaner towards the end. Da 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 da. Those last notes of that phrase were a lot cleaner and a lot more distinct. Now, I think they lost some numbers for sure, but it just didn't sound as clean here. That's the major thing that stood out. I wish I would have gotten a little bit more mellow just in general, but... Finally, mellows are keeping a phrase like that in time. I still don't like this arrangement. It still sounds like noise. I wonder what Travis be saying up there, man. Mr. Pruitt. I hear you, Mellows. So it sounds like noise, but it sounds well executed, specifically with Mellows too. If y'all are wondering if they played out of turn, yeah, but I think it'll all add up in the end. Because Memphis repeats later. I don't like that at all. I didn't like that part at all. Felt like they just kind of held out a half note a little bit just because like there was no counter melody or anything to fill that void. And then they just da 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 or whatever came after. I didn't like that. I didn't like how that was written. I hear you, trombones. I'll also give that too. That's one of them songs y'all will see in the upcoming video where I talk about some of Jackson's old rap arrangements where they played songs that just did not need to be marching band songs. Like that is one of them. It's noise. It's good noise, I guess. No. Two different approaches though. Don't like how tubas didn't come alive to that run. Come on, upper brass. On them phrases, I need you to push through that. Tubas and upper brass just kind of sound like they're just giving up a little bit on some of these phrases, you know? Selective playing. I know that chord is hard. I know that running to that chord is hard. I know that. I'm giving that a 1.5, man. That didn't do nothing. That didn't do nothing for me, man. Half the song, people that's playing the melody and then like the tuba break is it just didn't feel like they was giving nothing for real. And let me not say nothing, but not what I felt like was written. Hunter back on the stand, man. Shout out to a great man. Dude is pulling out his phone either to record or with the music as he plays. I feel like the band should have been softer to let trombones sing over top, but trumpets. Oh god. I didn't like that low chord from the UFOs. I don't think the trumpets and mellows know how to play support chords. I don't think that the only section that I think is doing okay here is like the trombones. And I guess tubas. Everybody else just doesn't know how to blend. Like, this is not the arrangement for them. No mellows. No. No! Stop! Stop! One! Oh, that was a bad round. That was a bad round. Man, y'all can't be fucking up Hunter music like that, boy. What? Give that shit to the ocean. Get it. Good job staying in time. Energy. Handoff. Good kiss. Who's directing? He looks familiar. Is that Mr. Coulson? I wonder if that's Mr. Coulson. Good run. That quick breath is integral. Trumpets, God! Are you gonna play the phrase? Are you gonna play it leading in? Or not? Good kiss. Two. It's either you're gonna play it, either you're gonna play the lead in or you're not gonna play the lead in, but you gotta pick one. Good run. Okay. Good articulation on that, in my opinion. Good energy, good vibe. Oh yeah. Travis doing his thing. Travis doing his thing. This is the exact vibe that you needed at this point in the battle. This is the song they be alternating on. I like that note change from the top, from the middle note on the trombones. Your run. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's straight vibe. That's straight vibe. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, that's straight vibe. Nah, Memphis ran that hoe. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh. No cap 3. I think they hit them runs crazy. Oh, they're running it back. Oh, they're running something. Call and response, cool. Memphis was able to, MAAB was able to take some momentum for themselves after a pretty cold round from the both of them. This is the round that I think ties up both of them in terms of how many songs. I know it's gonna be shallow when you get up there, but God, I don't know if it would make sense to chord just to keep it as powerful, but you know. Mellows, don't do this shit again. Nothing crazy, too. Clean on the comeback. Crazy tenors. I don't know how I'm just now seeing their 50 tenors. They plucking though. Oh, they turning. Trumpets. I think some UFOs definitely didn't hit that last note. That's why it sounded shorter. I'm sticking with my 2 though. It wasn't enough. That's Bama. Wait your turn. Wait till we get to you. Maybe that's North Carolina, actually. At this point, everyone else was coming. My question is, when I first heard this, why are you playing this? New Orleans isn't here. Like, is the strat just to call this like death to whoever? Death to whoever like you're currently facing? Like, is that the strat? If so, I don't really like it. Especially considering the fact that this isn't like, this is an original song, which is hard to do. I don't like how y'all came off that note, that release. Boy Hunter ready to go. He said, let's do this mass band shit and get the fuck on. I don't blame him for what's about to come next. Just end it, bro. Just end it. That was your first chance. That was your first chance. Look, man, we all know what happens here. I'm gonna just let this play and talk a little bit. First off, like I said, why y'all play this? This is an original composition that's very impressive as always. I listen to high school band, so I know this is not the first band that you played this with. And I know that not everyone does watch and listen to high school bands. So because of that, well, let me wait. Because of that, a lot of people look at songs like this and they don't, for some reason, feel the same way that they feel when like New Orleans plays Power from Southern. I feel the exact same way. To be honest, I don't really care as long as you keep it to a minimum. I think Memphis played 2, if not 3 songs this year that Craig Manosa played. Which isn't the biggest deal. This being one of them. But I bring that up to say, like, hey, people, be consistent. You know? If you got a problem with college bands playing fall band music, it don't matter if it's from a college or from a high school. They playing fall band music. You don't like that, don't you? Keep that consistent. That still don't take away from the fact that this sounds amazing. For now. This is also what happens, I think, when you try to create a moment. Not on Mr. Kennedy's part. But from bandspin, not paying attention, not being on one accord, not knowing what to do, and just trying to take matters into their own hand. Even Kennedy, he took blame for it on his stream, just running away, not really giving any directives. You know, he's going all across the field, making moments and stuff. And your band doing this? And that's it. That's it. That's forever. The biggest mistake, probably at the very least, summer band history, if not all of band history. I'm 20. Y'all would have to inform me if there exists one that's worse than that. Sounded great before that. And usually I'm not one to let, you know, a single mistake drive down a score or drive down, you know, tear down 3 minutes of greatness. But when it's self-inflicted like that, when it's that painful, when it's that sour, when it's either the beginning of the battle or the very end of the battle and you just give it away like that, self-control over self-control, over just like not bringing it back for a third time, over just having somebody or something and to calm everybody down and tell everybody what to do. Not versus a band like this. Yeah. Yeah. Talk about making a moment. MAAB just grittied on your grave. Memphis, you sounded so good. You sounded so good till the end. I'm gonna add these up because honestly, when I add these up and go back in the footage and count all this, it might not even matter, to be honest with you. After tallying on my scores from the stands, I have Memphis ending with a score of 10 and MAAB ending up with a score of 13.5, bringing the total to Memphis with 19.5, combining field and stands, and MAAB with 20.5. I will say I took a half point away from that last score that I gave MAAB simply because I have a rule when it comes to like super traditionals with summer bands where like every high school in the city knows it. Every college nigga knows it. You've been playing that since basically the inception of your summer band. That can't get a 3 from me. Like that just whole check is not getting a 3. I'm sorry. I can't. I won't sit well with that. Regardless though, MAAB comes out with the victory with at least 1 point. And that 1 point can honestly just be chalked up to the fact that, like, in the stands, Memphis had quite a lot of slip-ups, quite a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Execution issues, man. Like, execution issues in round 3, honestly, I didn't feel like the band was really playing through the music. You know, like, the attacks and releases, the focus on, like, musicality, the stylized arrangements, from, you know, the cast of characters and the cast of the staff is like it's great and all, but it doesn't mean anything if it starts to sound the same, which that wasn't the case today. But I just want to make that known because that is also a trap that like GAM fell into last year. Granted, you know, there are other things that can be boiled down musically in terms of those arrangements that made those sound stale as opposed to what Memphis could ever do, in my opinion. But that still goes to be said, you know, that things can still get tired for some people. For me, it has less to do with getting tired and just executing that time and time again, you know? These names are going to change. These faces are going to change. These bandsmen, these kids, they're going to come in and out the program, in and out of every summer. Going to have more and more retirees. And granted, you might be able to replace them from some stragglers from other cities or some new people coming into the circuit or whatever. It's not going to be clean every single time. And so when you have a mistake like that last round, that gives you up a round. When you have a round where you're calling off a song that requires these people who this is their back-to-back week of playing. The New Orleans battle was just a week ago. It was 7 days before this battle, and you now have to push through the music in round, what's that, 4? Yeah, in round 4, and mind you, they had skipped their turn to play like that, so you have to play through the music on your round 3, but it's your 4th song in the stands, and you already played 4 songs in the field, and it's your second battle in 2 weeks. Yeah, so great song selection by both bands. MAAB's weakness, of course, is like ballads and intonation when not playing out, and even then, like you can get stragglers. Of course, I was getting frustrated with delayed mellow, I guess, ruse, some funky F horn type stuff. Shout out to Jackson's F horn section, I guess. But they've popularized that over the past few years. But like that was kind of destroying a few of those arrangements because they required a more direct playing style. The only song that I think they've really butchered in the stands is sadly Mr. Hunter's song. But aside from that, like I think their energy was amazing. Them capitalizing on any type of mistake or slip up that Memphis was having was amazing. I mean, I think they played a really, really good stands repertoire. I gave them 2 threes, and that was mainly just off of like setting tones, having strong downbeats, having strong songs from start to finish. Relatively balanced band as well. Of course, you could ask a little bit more maybe from the trumpets at times. Probably got caught in between the cracks a few times. That's what got him a few 2s instead of 2.5s. So got him a few 2s on the field as well instead of 2.5s, and maybe even like a 1.5 along with the mellows on the field. Honestly, this was just an amazing clash of styles. Specifically, Memphis with a lot of attention to detail, but in the end of the day, just kind of overlooking some of the overhead, which is just keeping calm, cool, collected, and executing the music that you've been practicing almost 2 months on now. And for MAAB, you know, producing an amazing holistic sound, very powerful and aggressive and entertaining, and capitalizing on providing the right energy to really counter whatever Memphis is playing. But some of that attention to detail is definitely going to be needed if they want to compete with some of the cleanliness that Gamma's going to bring, the up-tempo stylings that New Orleans is going to have, you know, between the singing and the passages and the pass-offs and the counter melodies from the mellows and the UFOs. It's going to be an amazing battle in New Orleans on the 29th. I'll be there in person, hopefully, to watch the magic happen in what is seeming like will be one of the best battles that we've ever been treated to in this circuit. But that's enough rambling from me. This is well over an hour-long video. I appreciate anyone for watching this. Leave your winners down in the comment section as well as your scores. Again, the grading system is 0 to 3, but you gotta be probably Alabama to get a 0. Joking, Alabama, y'all weren't actually that bad, but we'll get to you later this week, if not, you know, in a few weeks after the dust settles on everything. Appreciate anyone and everyone for watching this. Have a good day and crank up.